Now, as I've explained on the last time, we had a few things go wrong. Megan informed me that there's a couple of things I omitted. One was the autopilot shut down. It just stopped. There was no power to it. I couldn't. But the fuses down on the board were fine. It took me a while to work out it was actually the inline fuse that had blown. That hadn't actually blown. It was a faulty fuse. The end cap had come off it. So when I checked it, it looked fine, but it wasn't working. It was broken. So I put a new fuse in that and got the autopilot working again. There's a pretty big thunderstorm on the shore, and Megan was worried that that thunderstorm was going to come out and get us. But I wasn't concerned about that at all. I thought it would have stayed where it was. As I explained in the last chapter, our actual route that was planned is we were going to anchor into this little bay just round Cape Townsend. But we were late arriving at Cape Townsend and it was dark, and it was one of those nights like you hold your hand like that, you can't see it. So I decided that I had the choice of either keep going all night down to Rockhampton or to pull into this bay. Now, I've just scared my wife big time, and she's being absolutely horrified.
Okay, the choices were try and get into a harbour, relying totally on the avionics, scare the hell out of my wife again because you can't see anything, or go all night. Not much of a choice there. I think we'll go all night. It'll also give me a chance to get the sail fixed overnight, so if the wind comes back in again, we've got to sail again.
Now, because we were going to sail all night, and my wife was concerned about running into things, running into land, whatever. Explain to her, look, the nav thing tells you exactly where you are and what you are going. We can look at the charts as well. There's not a problem with doing that. She said, well, what about fishing boats and that sort of thing? I said, well, we'll see the lights. So we can just avoid them, you know, there's no need to be concerned about that. And she says that, but you know, like we mightn't have time to move around. I said, darling, we're doing about 6 knots. We'll be able to see them between 10 and 20 miles away. So it's going to take, from when you can see the light, an hour to 2 hours at least before we actually get to them. I think I'd be able to turn around them by the time I get that close. Now, Megan was a little bit worried that the small fishing boat, they mightn't have put their anchor light on. So I just explained to her, well, it'll be a small fishing boat, and we'll feel the bump. You know, she didn't see the funny side of that. So now about 1 o'clock in the morning, I was starting to feel really, really tired. And so I said, look, Dale, can you just keep an eye on things? You know, just keep a bit of a lookout. It's on autopilot, we're not going close to anything, there's nothing out there at all. And just keep an eye on things, and I'll just lie down in the saloon here and have a nap for an hour, you know, so I can catch up with a bit of sleep. Well, the answer I got back was, I'll make you a cup of coffee. So I guess that was a no for me having a sleep. We've been motoring all night. I have fixed the genoa. I've put a temporary rope up the front to work as the luff wire so that we have a forestay and I can haul it back up and reuse it. But I was concerned about the fuel. I knew we were getting low. I was constantly dipping it, and about sun up I thought, oh, everything's cool. Yeah, we're going to make it. We've got enough fuel. Excellent. Terrific. We'll make it there without any problem at all. Then a southeaster started blowing up and we're starting to punch into this wind and it's slowing us down. The concern then is, okay, are we going to have enough fuel again? I can't use it in Noah because we're going into the wind and the sail's really not set up for that. It's strictly $20 an hour that'll go downwind and forget going upwind with it. So I'm getting a little bit worried about fuel again. So what I was doing was sort of keeping it in areas that I could anchor, but not go too close to anything so that it could get me into trouble if something went wrong. So I'm motoring along and everything's going fine. I've got down to North Keppel Island, and all I'm going to do is go straight across to Yeppoon, because I know I don't have enough fuel to make it into the marina, because I thought if I try and go into the marina without fuel and the motor's cut out, I'm in big trouble. So what I decided to do is I'll actually go to Yeppoon, drop an anchor down, throw the tender in the water, take in a couple of jerry cans, get some fuel, top the fuel tanks back up again, and then take it into the marina, so that I know that I'm not going to have any problems as far as fuel's concerned. Well, I've got down, I'm right next to Great Keppel Island. I'm motoring along. I've got beside Great Keppel Island, so I've only got about 5 nautical miles to go. Motor cuts out. I'm in shallow enough water that I can get an anchor down, so I've dropped an anchor down, and then discretion's the better part of valour. Called up the Coast Guard on the radio, and they fantastically brought some fuel out for me. They brought out a couple of 20-litre containers, put them in the fuel tanks, and then into the marina without any problems at all. Now, doing the calculations, we're 5 nautical miles off Yeppoon. We're going through about 1.5 litres an hour. We got 5 nautical miles to go. We're doing 6 knots. So I'm about 1 litre and 1.5 litres short. That's all I missed out by. Bummer. Oh well, these things are sent to tries. Now, it's fantastic the Coast Guard coming out and bringing out the fuel for me, and I don't have any objections to what happened here. But I will tell you, the fuel cost for that, getting that in, works out to about $8, $8.50 a litre. Expensive mistake, but it was a godsend. It was, I don't have a problem in doing it, and the Coast Guard does do a fantastic job. We're now in at Roslyn Bay Marina, all tied up, and jumped up and grabbed a cappuccino, and I must admit a couple of ciders as well. Now, Megan was very happy to see land again and be off the boat for a while. Whether I'll get her back on again or not to do the rest of the trip, not sure about that yet. We'll see. We spent a couple of days in the marina at Roslyn Bay, reprovision, water up, fuel back up totally, all the jerry cans, everything, so we had heaps of fuel and water and provisions for the next leg. We're planning on the next route to go down the Narrows in behind Curtis Island at Gladstone. We'll anchor in one of the creeks in there, then to Pancake Creek. Pancake Creek is a really stunning place, absolutely fantastic. And to 1770. Now when we get to 1770, might run a bit of a competition, because there's a boat down there that a couple that we bumped into. I wonder how many of you out there recognise the boat and realise who it is. I'd like a comment if you do. Okay, now for the next leg, did I actually get Megan back on the boat, or did I have to call up for a crew? Gonna have to watch the next chapter to find that one out. Anyway, bye for now. Hope you're enjoying my blog on my trip on the way down. It was a lot of fun. Still nobody's fallen overboard. And no, I've been trawling the whole time and I still haven't got a fish. Hopefully that'll change in the next leg.